and you were like, oh, I don't know what direction to go to. But it's like at this point, you're hit hard. What is your mind doing?
Well, the first things that usually come to the surface are the day-to-day needs and what's happening a week from now. Okay, well, Christmas is right here. So I've got some great college buddies. That was the only reason we had money for Christmas. Because we put out a Facebook thing. This happened, and so my college buddies, without, even knowing that they saw the post, they send us like, I don't know, $800 or $900 in gift cards.
Oh, wow.
So, okay. Presents for the kids. All right, we're good. Because they don't understand this.
Sure.
All right. We got presents for the kids. We have snow boots. We didn't need snow boots in Vancouver, but we do here. Okay, we have clothing. Rent's covered for a few months. We got Christmas presents. Okay, the immediate needs are taken care of. Okay, well, what about food? Well, God, I'd never even researched food stamps before. Never even considered it. I'd never been on them. My family had never been on them. I didn't have any friends that I knew that were on them. And if they were, that's not typically something you want to tell everybody. Hey, everybody, I'm on food stamps. Because it's embarrassing. I can't feed my kids. Sorry, I need money from the state to go put on the CBT card. And when I go buy groceries, I'm swiping my EBT card and everybody else is paying differently.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. So I knew that, okay, well, I get the immediate needs figured out. And then we get this big commission in January. And I realize, all right, am I going to start pursuing a job? Do I find just a job to crack the nut every month? Do I hold out for 3 or 4 months and try to find a career position? Do I ask my wife to go to work? Because, man, it would really help. But we have 2 kids that aren't even in school yet. So somebody has to take care of them. Do we put them in daycare? And so just this flood of...
Which is another cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember at that point I said, well, and this is kind of when the acting thing started creeping up. So I started taking every little acting gig I would get. Hey, Steve, we want you on set as an extra. You're going to be there probably at least 10 hours. It's going to be 3 days. Okay, if I get minimum wage, I get this much money. Okay, that'll pay the electric bill. And so it was surviving from day to day.
Yeah. Which is no way to live.
No, it's horrible. And so...
And the stress that I'm assuming is putting on Rachel, and the kids don't really realize it yet, but it's like this undue stress of not having an answer is being in limbo, and that's awful.
Yeah, and so we realized, there was a way to focus on these really, really small wins and finding comfort, as cheesy as this sounds, finding comfort in a cup of coffee. Because that's all you have. It's like that's all I have. I can't even take my wife out to a restaurant because we don't have any money. Well, here's where a pivotal point was.
Yeah.
Do you remember the guy Tai Lopez? He was one of the first ones on YouTube that started advertising his Lamborghinis.
No.
He's like, see my Ferrari in the background. I read a book every day and blah blah blah.
See my AT-AT in the background.
Yeah.
I watch Star Wars every day. Every day. Yeah. It doesn't make me any money.
The whole film. Yeah. Memorized. God love you for that, by the way.
Thank you.
So I remember seeing this, and he said, I'm offering this 67-step program to help you get out of your own way, so to speak. I don't remember what his tagline was, and it was $67, and you didn't have to pay it for the first 2 months. All right, I'll just do this. I'll just see what it is.
Okay.
So I start doing it, and he starts giving you these daily steps and lessons that you can learn.
So you took $67 you didn't have.
I didn't have.
And you took a chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
$67.
I know.
That's what my life was worth at that time.
I know.
And so I get to the end of day 55 because he said, well, okay, if it's 60 days goes by, you can't get a refund. Well, I get to the end. I'm loving this course. I'm loving these steps. I get to the end of almost the 2 months. And I call up the company. I'm like, I need my money back. Not because I didn't love the program, not because it wasn't helping me tremendously, but I had to, what did I do with it that month? I think I took Rachel and I out to eat. Because
oh my gosh, Steven.
It sucks. It sucks to even think about it, but that's what mattered enough at that moment. I'm like, you know what? I have to give her some sort of a small win here.
Like your cup of coffee.
Yeah, I've learned enough through this 2 months where I get where this is going. I got to get a refund. I got to take my wife out dinner, and now I'm going to apply these principles. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep building the merchant services. I'm going to keep building which to backpedal a little bit, this guy had canned my whole portfolio in the merchant world. Well, I said, well, screw you. I'm going to go steal them all back and I'm going to start my own company. So I started an LLC, which was more money, another $100, $150 money we didn't have, put it on a credit card. And so I started stealing all these clients back. I'm like, I already know how to do this. I know how to build this company. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing that I'm familiar with and keep building. And then, of course, I get the cease and desist letters and, you're violating this. We're going to take all your money back and we're going to file a lawsuit if you don't stop right now. And then that's about the time the transmission goes out on the one car that we had. It had 150,000 miles on it. And I had this $2,000 limit on a card. And that was it, because we just filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy because we had so much debt we had to wipe it out. And then my transmission goes out. It cost me like $1,900 and something dollars. Like, what am I doing? Once again, I'm trying to get a plan. I'm trying to move forward. I'm focusing on these 67 steps. I'm taking my wife out to dinner so we have small wins. I'm back with her family. And then you just get this freaking gut punch of lawsuit, cease and desist, bankruptcy, transmission goes out. So I had to realize I'm always going to get hit with these hurdles.
Well, it's funny you mention that because we had Josh Hong on here, and he had mentioned like he was going through all of these, like as working in the restaurant business, and his dad told him one time, he's like, aren't you tired of starting at zero every time?
Yeah.
And that was like his pivotal moment where he's like, actually, yeah, I am. Like, I don't want to start at zero. And I want to be able to go to bed at night and fall asleep and not worry about tomorrow. And so it's interesting that you say that. So, all right, so you're feeling these feelings. You're not liking the life that you're scrambling every single day. How are you going to make ends meet?
Well, and in understanding in those moments where something big happens, you absolutely have to take the time to slow down and remember, okay, let the emotion disperse. Because people that, you ever just stayed up for like 2 or 3 days straight for whatever reason, or you got like a couple of hours of sleep and you're just exhausted.
Yeah, it's called having kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what's funny is your brain, I'm not a psychologist or a doctor or anything, but your brain operates the same way when you're in a panic mode as you are when you're really, really tired. You can't think properly.
Clearly, right.
So you have to let the emotion go and say, all right, I'm going to logically pencil out what just happened. Okay, I got a cease and desist letter. Okay, let me read through it again and make sure this isn't something that's going to kill us. All right, it's not. As long as I don't keep violating the agreement that I had, I'm going to be okay. All right. Transmission went out. Okay. Let's go shop it around. Let's get some quotes. Let's see if we can afford to do this. Okay. Find out if they take credit. They do. Okay. Or is it going to be under 2,000? Yeah. Okay, great. All right. Let's do that. Let's get it fixed because we need a car. Okay. Problem averted. And you just take a little bit of time to get through these steps until you can keep pushing forward with the plan that you'd had initially, which was to build the merchant services portfolio. So I kept doing that. I started realizing, well, if I can't set all these accounts up with this processor, if you will, I'm going to move them to a different one so that there's no cease and desist issue.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep taking steps. And I just kept doing that for about a year. And then I, again, looked back at a year later and thought, all right, well, I can look at where I was a year ago, cease and desist, transmission going out, no money, food stamps. Okay, well, here I am a year later, still on food stamps. Transmission's fine. Cease and desist isn't a problem. Now I have a little bit more residual income coming in. Okay, so we're tracking in a better direction. All right, this is good. Let's keep taking steps.